What is up, Hobby Jogger Nation? Lights, camera, and action. This podcast platform would always, and I was checking to make sure my new mic, crispy sound, hopefully is rolling, because if you tap it, there's a green light here. If you tap it, it's a touch screen thing. It mutes, but I think we're rolling. Lights, camera, action. The podcast platform has the countdown. It always gets me riled up, man. I'm on camera all the time, but something with the countdown is different. But welcome back to the Mileage Podcast, man. Every time I do this, I'm telling you, man, it is so fun. It's so fun to do the Mileage Podcast, hanging out with great people, chopping it up about running. We got Grant on the ones and twos. It's just me right now because I'm recording the intro, but we got Grant on the ones and twos and legendary guest today, man. We're on a crazy run right now with the guests. We had Dr. Matt Klein from Doctors of Running, just an OG of the ShoeTube game and a great shoe tester, also a personal friend of mine. I wish I lived closer to Dr. Matt. He's out in California, but just a great dude. Then we had Floberg, ShoeTube, or not ShoeTube, he's a RunTube legend. Man, some of the coolest, best videos out there. Into FOD Runner. FOD Runner, who's an OG of the ShoeTube game. So, I mean, Matt Klein, Eric Floberg, Andy Raynor. That's a crazy run right there. We got to cool off. Next podcast episode is going to be Supwell team and, spoiler alert, special guests from the app. Please don't leak the info. If you're one of the app people, don't leak the info of what we're going to do. But today we have FOD Runner, man. So if you're not familiar with FOD Runner, make sure you go subscribe to his channel because he's an awesome shoe reviewer. But he is a hobby jogger. He is 6'6". He's a tall guy, and he runs a very fast marathon, man. Sub 240 marathoner. He's based out in the UK. FOD actually stands for Forest of Dean. Looks like a beautiful place to run, but he has been doing this for quite some time, man. I'm telling you, he's one of the OG ShoeTubers, and he cites some of the people, and this is one of the cool things with having this platform now. We get to hear about different people's origin stories and who they looked up to when they started. He cited some of the people that he looked up to when he started out, but I remember when I was starting my channel, man, seeing FOD Runner, and he's one of the guys who he created the template for what it means to be a hobby jogger, really testing these shoes. And it's cool because to this day, he buys most of the shoes with his own money. He really prioritizes his training. Again, he runs a sub 240 marathon, and he does this all while balancing another job and a family. So true hobby jogger, man. When I was messaging with him to set up this interview, we had to coordinate it around when his bedtime was for the kids, when he had to do bedtime with the kids. So initially we were going to do it at one time. Then he DM'd me and said, no, my wife said I had to be back home at this time to put the kids down for bed. So this is the hobby jogger lifestyle, man. That's what it's all about. We had a great conversation with him. We also did a little bit of news, me and Grant at the beginning. So if you don't want, I was going to do the news, move it to the end, but it didn't make any sense. I'm just going to keep it linear. We'll leave the news in the beginning. Me and Grant chopping it up. We talked a little Clayton Young to Brooks. We talked Melon, little Melon Fleet Feet collab. What else did we talk? We talked about training. I'll give an update on my training and next race plans at some point soon, either here on the YouTube channel. But yeah, we did a little bit of news into FOD Runner. So I hope you enjoy the conversation, man. Mileage Podcast is rolling. This is episode lucky number 13. Please enjoy. Bada boom, bada bang. I don't know what to say sometimes before the transition. So I was going to say bada boom, bada bang. I've been to say bada boom, bada bang on the podcast because I feel like that's a YouTube thing. But then I just said bada boom, bada bang. Why don't we drop the beat? Just please drop the beat, Grant. I see myself out now. Peace.
Hey.
Bro, we're in action. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound beautiful.
Is it super crispy?
It is. It's crispy.
Yeah. I think the last thing we need to do, because we have the streaming cameras, the backgrounds are dialed. Well, your background is more dialed. So the thing with mine is it's too dark at night. Now, when the sun is out, it's too bright. It's
Yeah.
too bright, which can be fixed with the auto or taking the camera off auto and doing the manual settings, but
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody got time for that right now. But I think the last thing, headphones, because I've been hearing the echo, and I also think if you get, you have those?
Yeah, should I use them?
Yeah, just put them on. Why not? For drip. It's also better podcast drip. It will look more legit when we
I might
post
have
it
to
on
leave and come
Instagram.
back.
Okay. Well, I can just filibuster.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah. I was also thinking, so FOD Runner today. I don't know if we're going to put this in the beginning or the end, if we'll put this in the intro or the outro. But Grant and I did want to talk some news because there's a lot of fun things that have been happening in the running world. And I'm realizing we have the podcast as a forum to talk about those things. I mean, I talk about random stuff on the YouTube channel a lot, but it's just not the same. Something will just pop into my mind off on a little tangent. For example, today we had the Diodora Gara 3, and I briefly mentioned how on Reddit I saw people trashing the shoe who are all what I would consider bigger runners. But it was just a small diversion. So maybe we talk about that on the pod, or we talk about the Fantano high-low axis partnership. I thought that was hilarious, man. Or the Clayton Young. I'm pouring my coffee, by the way. I pre-made the coffee in the Fellow. I kind of want to do a mileage Fellow mug for the summer because these things are the best. And I don't know if anyone else clocked this, if you watched the pod last week on YouTube, but Dr. Matt, when he was sipping, I almost said something, but he was sipping out of the Fellow too. And these things are just elite. They will keep your drink hot or cold for, I think, 24 hours, man. It's crazy. And this is the Onyx Coffee collab Fellow that I have from, I mean, I've worn off the letters. I think I have this from something like, I don't know, 5 years ago is when we're talking about the thermos, because you said we should do them for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was showing my Onyx one, the Fellow collab. These are the best Fellow. This is also what Dr. Matt had. I don't know if you saw that when he was sipping last week.
Is that the same company that makes the
Kettle?
the kettle?
The gooseneck, yeah. We have the gooseneck kettle. I also have the grind. It's like a grinds container, so it keeps them fresh
Like
for
the
longer.
vacuum sealed ones. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's like the Supwell Shoe Sickos company for coffee people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, should we chat news? I know
Let's
we
do
had
it.
some things.
How do I look in the headphones? I feel weird.
No, you look fire. You look like you're on a podcast, and it just makes it look more legit. Also, are you in a dark room? Is there a window in your room?
There's a window to my left. It's just closed.
I
could open it.
No, should I shut all the windows when we film so there's no natural light? So it's just the studio light. Also, check this out. Hold on, knee weir. Bang, and then that's crazy. But then I feel like is that too much, or is that? I mean,
That's too much right now.
It's too much for daytime, and it's also blasting. But look, this is the thing. I showed this yesterday. You can. Ooh, now that's making it too. That makes it whiter, cooler versus darker.
You looked
We
pretty
can
good
also
right there for a second.
blast it or bring it down. Oh, you liked it when it was more like the doctor's operating table,
No,
that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, no.
I think
Like
you're-
similar, kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
You want a
have this
warmer-
light, by the way.
The knee wear?
Yeah, that's why I recommended it to you.
Oh, okay, cool. And it goes super bright. I think that's kind of nice. What do you have in the background though? Because you have
just
something
like a-
behind you.
It's just like a LED
Cool. I actually think this is
stick
better.
thing.
LED stick. I might need to get something for the back too, but I don't know. It looks kind of good. Somebody suggested we get a mileage podcast sign.
Yeah,
We
that'd
can
be
get
fire.
those. Yeah, but we need to move. Oh, the other thing I was thinking of doing is a PR. Everyone does the PR posters. So we have the Tracksmith. They're the OGs. You have your Fleet Feet one. I was thinking, I don't want to give out too much free game. One idea I've had is free metal engravings for app members or for signing up for apps. Another idea I had, this is almost too good. I don't know if we should, include it. Just let me know what you think, though. 3D printed sculptures that say your PR. It's like, what if we got a 3D printer? We go to Chicago. It'll probably take longer. It would take like 10 minutes to do.
Yeah, each one.
But what if we had the Supwell app house? It's not a trap house, it's an app house. Members can come, you get free access, you get NA beers, you can kick it. And then we 3D print your PR post, your PR sculpture. So there's numbers. I think that could be sick with a mileage or a Supwell somewhere on it.
That'd be fire. We might have to get a couple of them. So if the line builds up, that it's not taking like 2 hours.
Yeah, we'd have to. That's a good call. We'd have to get probably 4 or 5 of those machines, get them going.
Oh, that would be so fire.
Yeah, we could partner with like Run Repeat or something because it's a very scientific thing.
There you go.
Yeah, boys talking about Run Repeat. This is the thing about Run Repeat. I actually really like what they do, but it's what is it? It's like it's not the don't shoot the messenger, or it's not the what do the NRA people say? Like, it's not the guns that are the problem; it's the people that is the problem.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Yeah, it's the people who use Run Repeat. And I know other shoe reviewers, like when we had Jackie Craig's on, he felt the same exact way. And we are both highly nerdy, data-driven people. But it's because people will say, who haven't tested a shoe, will then say, "Oh, well, Run Repeat said the energy return is XYZ."
Have you ever been on like ratings.com for anything? There's a website.
Is it car? Do they do cars?
I don't, dude. They do literally everything. Like they do coffee machines, blenders, like any type of appliance you can think of, and they do TVs, microphones, and they just made an Instagram account for running shoes, and they're like they're doing a bunch of like, it's kind of like,
you think they're coming for us?
No, it's like Run Repeat-esque. They're coming for Run Repeat. Honestly. Yeah. I was shocked when I saw it though. I was like, there's no way that they're making a, hold on, my mic is.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I value the data thing, but my thing is that you just have to run in the shoes. And for me, the best data for me is number of runs in a shoe. I have access to everything. So if I'm running in a shoe a lot, it's good. It doesn't matter how much it weighs. It doesn't matter what type of foam it is. It's like the Super Blast, right? I've just been running in it and running it and running. Yep. Someone posted on 2.0, like, dude, are you giving that? You need to give that foam a rest, because literally every run I'm just running it. Hey, we got the matching mugs today. How's your rebuild, Ben?
I got the dogs. Good. I still haven't tried to get any miles in. I've just been so busy life-wise.
Yeah, I feel that.
I've been doing in the gym twice a week still. I got back into lunges. I couldn't do lunges without a lot of pain at first, but now we're able to get lunges in. So I've been doing lunges down the driveway and just some strength work for the first time in my life.
Sick. Non-weighted?
No, I'm using the bar.
Oh, okay. Bar for the lunges.
And then some other stuff I'll use, like dumbbells. I use dumbbells for the lunges too, but recently I've been trying to do it with the bar.
Sick. That's good. I know Dr. Matt, he didn't say it, but what he's told me previously is kettlebells. So every night before he goes to bed, he does a kettlebells routine. Have you been doing it every day?
No, twice a week.
Not every day. Twice a week.
I need to be doing it more.
Yeah, for strength, I found that helpful. If you can find a small, highly doable amount to do a little bit every day, that's what keeps me honest. So I've started doing core every day because I noticed it was my lower back, especially once I started getting down below 6 minutes per mile on my workouts, and I never ran that fast before consistently. So I had to start doing something for the lower back. And when you have lower back, it's all core. So I started doing planks and push-ups every day. And I found it makes it easier. But yeah, different people have different strategies that work for them in terms of daily versus not.
Exactly. Should we get into some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
I feel like we have to talk about Clayton Young first.
Dude, so I was so bummed because we saw that our chat was blowing up with me, you, and Barrett. But I was excited the next day. I was like, we got to do an emergency podcast. Like, this is my time to be Bill Mileage Simmons. We can do an emergency podcast. Clayton Young, free agent, top 5 landing spots. I had a whole list that I was going to get ready. You said, yeah, you said New Balance. Yep. I said Leaning. I think my comment from the Supple account on that Instagram post where he said he was leaving ASICS, I think it was the most liked comment. Did you see that?
Doing numbers, yeah. Every time I open Instagram, it's like top notification is like 5 or 50 people have liked your comment, blah, blah, just kept going.
Yeah. So for anyone who didn't see it, when Clayton Young posted the end of an era with ASICS, I just commented, at Leaning official with the eyes emoji. So yeah, he didn't end up going to Leaning, but I think that would have been fire. It's almost one of those things though, where I have a tough time seeing an American athlete or European in their prime going to a Chinese brand. I mean, Kyrie did it on the basketball side, but even him, he was, I don't want to say past his prime, but he was no longer, it wasn't LeBron or KD or Harden.
Right.
Even when Clay did it, he was up there, but I don't know. I think it's hard. It's almost like one of those things with basketball when a basketball star goes and plays in China, or a football star comes and plays in the MLS, their career is done. So I would have a hard time seeing a pro marathoner right now from the US or Europe go to a Chinese brand.
I think, yeah, right now is the key word, because it'll happen. Once Leaning or a company like that makes a hard push into the United States and North America in general, they'll want to grab somebody. I don't know if it'll be somebody of Clayton Young's stature, but they'll grab a couple people, I'm sure.
Some of these companies have money too. So I'm curious he probably could have gotten a bag.
He did. Yeah, I saw that he negotiated his own contract.
No agent?
That's what I heard. I think he was on a podcast. I didn't watch it. I just saw a clip of it. I could have sworn, don't quote me on it, but I could have sworn that it was about how he negotiated his own contract with Brooks.
Good for Clayton, man.
Yeah.
Putting in that work. So yeah, you said New Balance, the intelligent choice. Did you see New Balance, by the way? They inked a deal with the Pats.
I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, you froze for a sec. It's probably my internet. That's the other thing we need to update or upgrade. I don't know if it's possible. And so I was looking into Starlink, but it's the upload speeds are pretty similar.
Yeah.
To what I have now. So I think I'm just kind of stuck out here. If anyone has suggestions how to improve upload speeds of suburban internet, I'm on the mid-tier spectrum, but they said when the guy was out here, so he was a young dude. He was probably 20. I'm on my unk status. Say he's a young dude. But, I mean, he was younger than me, so he knows what's up. I think he games and stuff. And he was like, bro, if I were you, he basically told me don't upgrade because any increases are going to be marginal. And I forget the exact specs, but he was basically like, if you upgrade from right now, maybe you'd be going from like 60 to 110, but what fiber is going to give you is like 1,000 to 2,000. So the upgrade, it seems a lot when they try to get you on the higher tier, but it's just not compared to actual fiber. Do you have fiber?
Yeah, we had it installed when we moved in.
Dang, bro. Maybe I should run for mayor, Mint Hill. Yeah. Get the fiber installed out here.
Yep. Our house was so old that they didn't have it, so they had to come in and like dig a tunnel underneath our backyard all the way back to the back box in the alleyway.
Oh, so they did something custom just for you?
Yeah, like the fiber, I don't know how it all works, but the lines were already there. They just weren't connected to each house. Like you had to do that yourself. So
wow,
we had to hire some guy to come out and put a big box in our garage and then run a cable underground out to the alleyway where there's the underground internet box and connect it. But it worked, so.
Man. All right, yeah, ASICS, no more for Clayton Young. On to Brooks. Yeah, New Balance was in contention. What else? I could have seen him going to any of the big ones, but
any of them,
yeah.
Everybody said Puma. That's what all the comments were.
Like Rory's there.
Mm-hmm.
He's now top dog though at Brooks because Brooks has CJ Albertson, and they have Des Linden, but she's not racing marathons anymore.
Yep.
Who else? I think they have Casey Klinger, who's part of that group.
Yeah, I think they do. I've seen him Yeah, he's definitely Brooks. It's interesting. Why do you think he left? Do you think it was? What do you think it was?
Okay, so with how quickly it was announced, I thought it was initially it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks before we hear, but with how quickly it was announced, it was literally the next day where he said, "Okay, I'm with Brooks," and they had the full photo shoot and everything, so it was clear that they already had it set up. So I'm guessing the contract with ASICS was coming to a close. He wanted longer term certainty. And I know some of these brands are ruthless, man. I mean, he was an Olympian. He's run some of the fastest American marathon times, but
Yep.
I know he was coming off an injury and everything. So that's where my mind went first. Of is this something he's doing to give himself greater protection and longevity, or is it something from the brand not wanting to invest in him, or a little bit of both?
His contract did expire. I did read that. Like it was coming to a close
Okay.
anyway. Yeah, I need to go listen to that podcast that he had because I'm sure that the question
On
was
Sidious?
asked at some point.
Sidious
Is that
Mag?
what it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure the question was asked at some point. What was the reason? Why the switch? I wonder if he's gonna like Brooks shoes. I mean, he obviously tried them on, so
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because he trains a lot in the Super Blast for long runs. I'm curious if he's going to be more Glizzy Max or if he's going to be more Hyperion Max.
yeah, that's a good question. My guess would be Hyperion Max. That's what I'm hoping. It'll be the Hyperion
That was your
Max
top
4,
one of your
but-
top shoes.
Mhm. My highest mileage shoe. Actually, I think my Mag Max is my highest mileage shoe now.
The OG.
It's like 600
you
something.
You don't have the 2, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I got to get you the Blizzy Trace.
For sure.
That should be your comeback shoe. That's my go-to right now. Yeah.
What other news we got?
I just wanted to mention the Fantano Fleet Feet thing because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it seems like Fleet Feet's trying to pull a different market. It's so random.
Yeah, and
You said it to me, and my first thought was like, "Is this AI?"
I thought it was fake. That was my first thought too. Is this real? Did somebody just put it on? And it's interesting though. Do you think it came more from Hilo or from Fleet Feet? The idea, like, who's spending the big bucks on it? Is it Hilo or Fleet Feet?
I feel like the idea would have came from Hilo. Well, that's a good question. I have no idea. Yeah, there's probably a good little bag.
Did you run in the Axis?
No, just walked in it. Wear it to work every day, pretty much.
I like it for walking because I ran the ellipse and then I walked in the ellipse the next day because I disliked the ellipse so much for running. I was like, I have to use it for dad drip. It's too good looking of a shoe to not use it for dad drip.
Right.
But I felt like I ruined it for dad drip because I was so hard on it in the review. So I immediately used it. We went to Mason just to brag for a sec. Her art got picked to be in this museum with a bunch of other kids in the school system, but there was only a few from each school. So we went to this event. Yeah, it was fire. We went to this event. We saw her art. So I wore the ellipse. I had to flex on these other low mileage dads out there. And it was not, I don't know, it was too soft for me for walking. I felt like my feet were doing more work to stabilize the shoe or just, I don't know. And then the next day, it was her birthday. So I was like, okay, what should I wear today? And so I did the Axis, and it was perfect. It's a great walking shoe.
It is. It is a good walking shoe.
Yeah. I ran it at one time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. It's tough because with the shoe like that, and this is a theme of the channel right now, and also what we're trying to figure out is there are a lot of people out there who benefit from a shoe like the Axis or the Cumulus or the Clifton or the Pegasus. But for me, with the access to everything that I have, no pun intended, but access to all these shoes and my style of training, it's just, man, if I'm going to hit a 12-mile run, am I going to go Super Blast or Axis? Am I going to go Mag Max OG or am I going to go Cumulus 27 if we're talking a year ago?
Yep. Exactly. It's hard. It's hard when you have like a wall of shoes like this to reach for it.
What do you think the solution is? I've had this idea of having the mid shoe reviewer.
Yeah. I mean, but with your idea, like, would the mid shoe reviewer be allowed to be
Negative? Yeah, of course. Of course. Why not? I'll buy the shoes for them. Or if ASICS reaches out and says, do you want to test the Cumulus? They'll say, sure. Send it to John Smith in Salt Lake City, size 9.5. He's the mid shoe reviewer.
And would we highlight his mid shoe reviews on the pod?
I think he would come on. He or she come on midweek mid shoe pod. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They just come on and give their mid shoe take on the midweek podcast. I was also thinking maybe we get midlife runner, see if he wants to do it, because it's midweek, mid shoe, midlife. But I don't think he wants to do that. But he kind of likes. So he says he likes the Cumulus types of shoes more than the Nimbus types of shoes because he doesn't stack.
Good for him.
So yeah, that's where my head is at now. They come on, we give them the shoes, they come on, then we can at least have somebody test them. It gets added to the database and all that. I don't know. It's just the opportunity cost. The challenge though is for the channel, new shoe reviews still do the best by far. So it's like even a Cumulus 28 review will do better than this pod probably on YouTube, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're missing out on, I guess, some views, but you're saving some face.
Yeah, saving face, and it's not all about the views too. I've realized, because even if you got 1,000 more views, it's how do we want to build the ship? You got to think about that too.
I think the midweek mid shoe pod is a good play.
Sick. Okay, we just got to get someone. What should our criteria be?
They got to have a decent amount of mileage per week. Right?
I was thinking maybe opposite. And someone actually reached out. Yeah, someone reached out and was like, dude, I run 20 miles a week. I want to be the mid shoe tester so that I can give a different perspective. Yeah. And I was like, maybe that actually makes sense because the people buying Cumulus aren't running 60 miles a week for the most part.
Yeah, so maybe anywhere from like 20 to 40?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what other criteria we would even need.
If they run too fast, we fire them.
Yep. If they get too quick, if they start improving.
Yeah, no. You have to be stagnant every week.
Comfortable coming on the podcast?
Yeah, that's true. They just need to be able to chop it up. Okay, let's workshop it. Maybe April we can roll this out.
I think it's a good idea.
Welcome back to the Mileage Podcast. We have one of the OGs of the ShoeTube game here, Andy Raynor, aka FOD Runner. Is it FOD Runner or FOD Runner? It's a big debate.
I don't know. I think people have just made their own decisions on it. I used to call myself FOD Runner, but then everyone used to say FOD Runner, and I was like, maybe I should have just been Andy. Just keep it simple. We'll go with whatever today.
Okay. I've always said FOD Runner.
That's
and then
fine.
Recently I heard people saying FOD Runner. I wonder if it's a European versus American thing. I have heard more Europeans say FOD and Americans go with the acronym.
To be fair, it is usually the Americans that say FOD. And then I usually get questions like, why is it FOD? What does it stand for? Is it to do with the FODMAP diet? Which I'd never heard what a FODMAP diet was until someone said that. And I had to look it up.
No cauliflower, so you don't poop yourself.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love it, man. Okay, we're going to go with FOD Runner because that's what you call yourself. There was recently an NFL player. His name is Travis Achan, who told people what his name was. And then they were saying, because they used to call him ETN, and then a bunch of people were saying, you can't change how we pronounce your name. It's like, dude, if that's how it's pronounced, you got to pronounce it that way. But yeah, speaking of sports, man, I love giving comparisons to the guests who come on. I'll give an analog. So for you, I was thinking you've been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
You're excited. You're tall.
Yes.
Grant and I love you, especially Grant. So Dirk, my comp for you is Dirk Nowitzki. You know who that is?
I have no idea.
All right, Grant, give us some background. Who's Dirk?
Dirk is one of the best basketball players of all time. He's a center. He played for the Dallas Mavericks
Oh,
for his
okay.
whole entire career. And he's a loyal guy, smart, great human being in general. So that's a pretty good comp.
I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. I'm very grateful. Everyone used to say to me at school, like, "Are you going to play basketball?" And I'm like, "No, I just don't like basketball. I tried, but I just couldn't get into it." So, yeah, no, I appreciate that compliment. Thank you.
For sure, man. What were your sports growing up? Footy?
Yeah,
Football?
football, and then tennis, and did a bit of golf, but I didn't stick with that too much. It was football for such a long time, and then I got when I was, obviously I'm so tall, so when I was growing about 14, 15 years old, I got something called Osgood Schlatters. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's where you grow too fast and the end of your sort of bones and tendons get super sensitive, and basically you have to just cut impact sports right out. So I could only cycle, swim for like 3 years until all my bones and tendons and ligaments had settled down. So under my knees, I have like these big lumps where it was just super inflamed. And then when it settles down, it just turns to like this hard, callous, it just calcifies, let's say. And then I could get back to sports at 19. And then I did football until I was about 27, 28, and then it was 28, because then that's when I made the switch to running, because my youngest kids were like 2 and 4 years old, and I was working stupid hours and then training and playing matches on the weekend, and my wife was just like, where even are you? What, I appreciate your providing for the family here, but we don't see each other anymore. And I was like, yeah, man, this is the wrong time of life to be committing so much time to a sport. So I just started running instead, and I could get up early, get out the door, get my exercise done, and then that'd be it for the day. And it was just a game changer. And that's why I started running, really.
Wow, that's awesome, man. It sounds like from the time where you had Osgood Schlatters and you were doing the cycling and swimming, you probably built up your aerobic base some, so you could build some of that fitness up early.
Yeah, I would love to say yes, but obviously I was like, what was I? 15, 16, no, I was about 16, 17, 18, started back in 19. And to be honest with you, at 16 years old, I wasn't even thinking about, like, I used to cycle anywhere as a kid. You know what it's like when you're a kid. I don't know if it was the same with you growing up, but you just get on your bikes, and your parents would tell you to be home before sunset, and you just go out for the day with your mates, with your friends, and that's what it was like here. So I was always out on my bike, and I did a bit more on my bike then, but I wasn't ever thinking like, damn, this is going to be good when I get back to decent sports. I'm going to be really I was just like, I was doing things I should not have been doing at 16.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's a lot of us in the Hobby Jogger Nation here. I always think about, too, though, all the things we did, like the biking and the swimming, and I used to lift a lot of weights, and it accidentally now, 10, 15, 20 years later, it probably does end up helping versus someone who is just sitting on the couch playing video games. So, I mean, those sports from a young age do add up.
They do. I agree. I think if you've always been active as a person from a young age, it just sets you in good stead. People are always like, you see new people getting into the sport, and you can see like whether they've got a bit of a natural gift or not, and like what their first half marathon or 5K or 10K time is, and you can look at it and you can go, yeah, you were an active person before. You shouldn't be knocking out those sort of times on your first race. So you can kind of tell those people.
Exactly. Okay, so you started running at 28. You said you had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. How long after you started running to get your wife not to be mad at you for playing soccer did she then start getting mad at you for running too much?
Probably. Well, to be fair, she bought me my first action camera, and that was in my first year. So she started all of this. Probably the second year of running. Probably when I was like, I would go out and just run 2 or 3 miles 4 times a week. And like, that's pretty calm. And then I was like doing 5-mile runs. And then on the weekend, it would be like an 8-mile long run. And then she was like, this is starting to turn into like the length of a football match.
Yeah.
And then it went to like half marathons, and now it's marathons. And I think at this point, she's just given up, mate. To be honest with you, it is what it is.
Yeah, you just gradually grind them down over time, but you can justify it by, hey, I'm doing this, I'm staying healthy, and I'm going to be around for a long time. I'll be able to bother you forever now because I'm going to live till 100 because I'm so healthy.
The problem is that I'm quite an obsessive person, so whatever I do, I've got to do it like full on, just commit my life to it. So she said to me, the thing is, like, if you weren't doing running, you'd be doing something else. So, you know, it's the lesser of two evils, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%, man. I feel that. And I do think, though, even starting out calm, like you were saying, okay, 2 miles a week, 3 miles a week for 2 or 3 years, you probably had no idea what periodization was or threshold workouts or even that a marathon was 26.2 miles. But that's the best thing that could happen. I started off the same way, 3 years of just running 3 times a week, 3 miles, 5 miles, doing time trials. And it's like what I was saying a few minutes ago. Okay, you're a kid playing soccer or football, you build this aerobic base accidentally. By doing that, I think it helps a lot with injury resistance, with building the system and everything, because then you do find the marathon. You have 3 years or 4 years already built up of aerobic base versus just jumping into it off the couch and trying to scale quickly.
It's mental how many people get into the sport and say, I want to run a marathon. I say, please wait, just get some other races under your belt, build yourself up. I promise you, because what will happen is one of two things. You'll either hate it so much that you'll never come back to the sport, or you'll do yourself some serious damage. So yeah, I agree. I fully agree. It's the marathon is just, it's a beast.
I hate it and I love it. So when you were starting, was your channel more shoe anchored or training anchored?
Training. So I started because of Sage Canaday and Ethan Newbury. So Ethan Newbury's a ginger runner, you know, Sage Canaday. Yeah. I don't know if Ethan's actually still going. I haven't seen anything from his channel in ages, but those two were like, I was like, I love Ethan's shoe reviews. I love Sage's training. And this is when what I would class as Sage was building up to his peak. So he'd just come out of Hanson Brooks. He was kind of unsponsored. I remember his Hoka announcement video, and he was doing some insane long runs and stuff. And I was like, this man is insane. And where I live in the Forest of Dean in the UK, it's a nice place. You know, it's picturesque, lovely trails. And I was like, I want to showcase where I live too. So I just started off with this shaky little 35-pound action camera, running around, have no idea how people ever watch the videos, but like I just used to smash Facebook groups and say like, oh, my new video's out, and I think I just built up a following that way. And then I think I did my first shoe review about 8 years ago, and it was like a 400-mile update shoe review on like the Asics Gel Zakara or something, or Zach, I can't remember how you pronounce it. And then that got more traction than any of my training videos, and I was that's mad. And then I did some more, and I was like, why do my shoe reviews get way more interest in my training? And I'm like, oh yeah, because YouTube is a search engine. They're not searching for some like father of two who's training for his first marathon. They're like searching for information, and these shoes are what they're after. So then like I kept going, and I started to put the shoe reviews in a bit more. And whenever the Zoom Fly 3 came out, 2017, 18, maybe 19, I don't know, around there, I bought that shoe, I reviewed it, and the video went like, for me, I think I got like 5, 6, 7,000 views, which at the time was insane. And then I just said to my wife, like, I'm just going to buy a load of shoes. And so I just spent that year, and I grew from like 2,000 subscribers to 9,000 in a year. And still to this day, that was my biggest year of growth. And then like the recession hit, my job got cut down to 3 days a week, and then I no longer had that cash for the shoes. So the shoe reviews took a hit, but then over time they've come back in. but I've been doing it for like, so long. It's crazy.
Yeah, recession was that 2008?
Oh no! It was way
It
later
wouldn't have
than
been,
that.
right?
No, way later
Okay,
than
I was
that.
gonna say
I
this.
think we had something around
Yeah.
then, but it was pre-COVID. I think it was around 2016, 2017. I don't know if you guys got hit with it as bad as we did, but just the country just went into free fall, and companies just couldn't afford to pay their staff. So for the company to survive, we had to go on 3 days a week. So that was a real shock. And I had to just cut all my spending. And ironically, could have been the best thing that ever happened, because I started doing longer term shoe reviews in that period of time. So although I'd done a few weird 400 milers, weird numbers, I started like going, okay, let's do 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And I started doing that. And again, they got even more traction. And then people were commenting like, this is amazing. We see all these reviews where people just review a shoe after the first run or a few runs, but we need to see the durability. And like that stuck in here. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. And still now, I'm super grateful. People always comment like, we're really glad that you're doing these long-term shoe reviews, putting the miles in, because shoes change. And like, there's some shoes that I've reviewed and had to come out and apologize for and said, I got it wrong. That I either said they were amazing and then by 100 miles they were terrible, or the other way around. Like there's one recently that I've tested that I said was mediocre. It wasn't really a race shoe. It was good. But now I'm like, I've used it so much in training and still do. And I'm like, I am eating my words on this shoe. It's actually really
Which
good.
one is that?
That is the Asics Metaspeed Sky Tokyo. I
wow.
got that.
Banger.
I got that shoe and I was like, it's a good shoe. The foam is really nice, but it's not aggressive enough for me. I don't feel like it puts me on my toes. And then I was like, maybe I should try the Edge. But I'd never tried an Asics racing shoe before. And then I've just used it. I'm like, I've paid 200 and whatever pounds it was. I'm going to get the most out of it. So I've used it almost like every week or every other week. And it is one of the best shoes, especially for long run workouts in marathon training. Like my legs feel the freshest after using them. They're a bit loud, but they are so smooth. They are so nice. So yeah, so that's one of them. And there's been plenty
I'm in the
of
same
those.
boat with you on that one.
Yeah, you like them?
I have the most. I probably have the most miles in any super shoe in the Metaspeed Tokyo, Sky Tokyo.
Yeah,
It's just so good.
I can understand why it's such. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like we test these shoes. I think we're in a sketchy time at the moment where a lot of people are rushing to get their thoughts out, to kind of be the first person to put their shoe video out, which I do as well. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'll do a first run video or I'll wait to do a first impressions. But sometimes we find that these shoes break in. Sometimes we find they change. There's been a fair few of them over the years, and then I'll come out like the New Balance Rebel version 5. That was the complete opposite. I took that out, did a workout in it for the first run. I was like, okay, well, it's not really a workout shoe for me, but it's decent. But by 50 miles, it was flat. It was rubbish. And I took it to 200 miles. I still don't know how, but the foam in that shoe.
Bro, you deserve Medal of Honor or something.
Yep.
Give us a Purple Heart. That's crazy.
It was terrible, that shoe. It really was. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you've got to test these shoes and really put the miles in.
Yeah.
And you log the miles, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dude, I struggle with it though. So for me, it's like, there's almost these two categories of shoes because I do run so much. I was just talking about this with Grant, but you get a shoe like the New Balance Ellipse or the New Balance Rebel. Sorry to pick on New Balance, but I get it. I don't like it on the first run. I will never run in it again. No. And it doesn't even have to be terrible, but if I don't like it the first time, then I will divert my mileage into something I really do like so I can get high mileage in one thing like the Super Blast. So that's something I've struggled with because for a long time I was like, okay, it's a popular shoe. I need to get the 100-mile review out. Now I'm just like, if I don't like it, I'm just going to put my miles on something I like. How do you balance those two things of doing the durability thing but also running in shoes that you enjoy?
Yeah, we fight the same battle there, honestly. Like there are some shoes that I know that if I put the miles in them, but the YouTube views on that video would be way better than if I put the miles into something else. But I'm at a point now where, because I don't know, like this guy Tokyo, because I'm putting my money into it, and running is an enjoyable sport. I don't want to waste my time running in a shoe that I'm not interested in. So, like I've openly said, and I don't know how you feel about this one because I haven't seen your review on it, but the Saucony Azura, I have recently put that up against, let's say, the Mega Blast, the Leaning Red Hair 9 Ultra. I did a video on that. And I ran in those 3 shoes back to back to back, and I went Leaning, Asics, Saucony. Can I swear on here or not?
You can swear. We'll probably beep it though.
Oh, I won't swear then. It was. I don't like the Saucony. I'm gutted.
Oh, we're on the same page, bro.
I'm gutted. I'm really gutted because 2 or 3 years ago, Saucony were like, for me, brand of the year, banging out some amazing shoes. And the midsole in that shoe just feels flat, just dead, just nothing to it. And I'm running the Mega Blast and the Leaning, and I'm like, these are fun shoes. So now I just run in like those shoes. And like you, I look at it now and go, right, well, I've still got just over there, I've got the DV8 Nitro 4 to test.
Yeah.
I've just tested the 4 Elite. And I'm looking at it going, but once I've tested it, if I don't like it, like you, I'll just put the mileage in a shoe that I do want to, regardless of whether I think the video will do well. So I recently just put out my 14 most used shoes, and the Be My shoe from China came top. I've used it the most this year, and no one could give a monkeys about that shoe, to be honest with you. Like the first video did well, but my 100-mile update, it got like 3,000 or something views. No one's really going to go and buy it, but man, it is just such a good shoe, and I'm not going to stop putting it down. I'm going to keep using it because I like it, and we run for fun, don't we? So like we have to enjoy the miles that we're running. So I'm at a point now where I'm a bit like, the algorithm can go screw itself. I'll test these shoes, but I will run in what I want to.
Man, yeah, I love that. What's the model of the Be My? I gotta check that out.
It is. Oh, I haven't got it here. It's the
Is it the Fly?
Carbon 3.0 Turbo. It's actually an older one. It's incredible. And I've just ordered the Be My Carbon Fly 2. That one's just come out, I think. So that one's being delivered hopefully next week or the week after. Really excited about that. That's had some good reviews. But the Be My Carbon 3.0 Turbo, it is, you'll get it. The racing, the foam, it's a carbon plated shoe. It's the same weight as the Farstar 3s. So it's super light. You will run in the foam and go, it's not race worthy. It's not top tier, but you'll get some reps done in it. You'll do some workouts in it, and you'll be like, this is exactly what I need for a workout shoe. This is light, poppy. It's enough. It does the job, but I know that when I slip my Farstars on race day, I'm going to get that next level performance. It's such a good shoe. And actually, my top 6 most shoes of the year, I think 4 of them are Chinese. It's mad at the moment. It really is.
Hey, I love that. We got to get you one of the Max Cushion Gang China-inspired hoodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're all about it, man. Dynafish, Xiaoyan, the Leaning, Red Hair 9 Ultra, the Fadian 6 Elite. I got to try the Challengers still. And the what's the new Leaning race shoe? I've got to try that one. Yeah, the $400 one. But
that's
it's hard because the Ultra. It's hard because I just came off a marathon, so I did my first run in carbon 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's hard sometimes balancing the actual training and the runs I need to do for my own body and progression, and then the shoe tube. How do you balance those two things?
To be honest, I prioritize my running. So if I'm in like short distance training or base phase, the shoe will come in and I'll just test it on whatever. For example, that Be My came in. I never tested it. It came on the Wednesday. I had a long run workout on the Thursday. It went straight into the long run workout, 4x3K, 20 miles or something. And it's just like the shoe's either going to work or it's not. I'll take a backup shoe with me and leave it in the car if I'm somewhere else, or I'll just make sure I stay close to home and just change if I need to. I've never had to do it. but it just fits in with training. Like that leaning Red Hare 9 Ultra, that came, and then the next day I had like an aerobic sets workout. So it was 7 minutes easy, 5 minutes moderate, 3 minutes marathon effort. Repeat that times 5. So it was 75 minutes just going through the gears, easy zone 1, 2, 3 stuff. And I was like, this is a chunky shoe. Am I going to be able to get to marathon effort in it? And I'm like, we'll soon find out. And bloody hell, it was insane. It ate up the marathon pace so easily. Wow. And I was like, how is this shoe doing this? So anyway, yeah, I digress. They just fit in with my training. Our training is always number one.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's hard sometimes too. And I think when I was first starting my channel, I went way too hard. Not too hard because it's how I built it, but I went very much into shoes first. Like I'll do 100-mile week in a shoe. I'll do all this crazy stuff. That's how I built it up. And now I'm like, dude, I'm at this stage where I really want to progress with my training. It is hard to balance the two, especially with everything else, life going on. But speaking of training, dude, I saw you come off a great mini block down there in Santa Pola, out in Spain with Ben Felton and Victor Schmangs. How is that, dude? It looked like a great time. And then, the one thing I saw you after come back to the UK and you just seem so sad. You're like, oh, I'm in the cold and the rain now after being the perfect weather in Spain.
Oh man, it's so hard to describe. I won't bring the mood down, but the UK is not a fun. But I don't enjoy living here, to be honest. Going to Spain is a treat. And so I had but the long and short of it is I did the first phase of my London build, which effectively was just an extension of my base phase. I just increased everything slightly. Got to that down week for Santa Pola, and I got on the plane, went out there with the aim to race the Alicante half marathon. I told Ben about it, him and Victor and everyone, they entered it. So it was cool to see them do so well there. And so I hooked up with them on the Friday, did a run with them, and Ben just warned me and said, look, I'm going to be honest, we've got a chap here called Jean Lucas, who's a 61, he just ran 61.19 at Barcelona half. He's elite. He doesn't run his easy runs slower than like he said 4 minutes per K, but like 6:40 something per mile, I don't know, around there. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. So we went out on the Friday for my taper easy run, and I did like an hour at 6:30, 6:40s, which is my moderate effort. And I was like, well, if I haven't just blown Alicante, I don't know what, but whatever.
Zone 3 maxing, baby. Let's go.
Unbelievable, yeah. And I was like, what's your heart rate? And he was like 120 something. I was like, damn. So anyway, I raced Alicante, had a good race there, but I'd really reduced the mileage. So I don't log as many as you, but I was hitting like 70 to 75 for weeks leading up to that. Literally hit like 40 that week. Had a couple of rest days, so I was feeling fresh. Did Alicante, went out for an easy run on the Monday with them again. It wasn't easy at all. It was like 10 miles, moderate, zone 2, zone 3, 6:40s again. And I was like, God, I feel really good. And then Ben messaged me that night and said, hey, do you want to come out for a workout tomorrow? And I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Yes, I'd love to, because I was planning actually to have 2 days downtime after that. Wednesday, spend time with the family. We were out there on a family holiday as well as a training camp. Thursday was a travel day home. So I was like, well, do you know what? I've had a couple of rest days the week before. I'm going to have a couple of rest days. Let's just call this a mini block within a block. So we're going to have these 3 intense days, a half marathon, a 10-mile moderate effort. And then we're going to do this 16K, so 10 miles. And they were running at 3:35s, which was basically 5:42 per mile. And just 10-mile unbroken tempo, and they were like 4K warm up. I got out the door, they run past me. All right, yeah, come on, join in. They're clocking 6:20s on the warm up because they're fired up, and I'm like, damn, this is pushing my top end moderate zone. And we roll into this tempo, and I'm like, okay, I can hang with this, I can do this. And by mile 4, I hit my threshold heart rate. We turned around at 5. I hit mile 6. I was like, okay, my heart rate's at 170 now. I'm well over my threshold. Can I hang? And then by mile 8, I felt like death. And then I hung on for the last 2 miles, but it was an incredible feeling. And I got back, and I felt depressed to be back here, but I felt so good that I got that 3-day block in there that was just like insane. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have down days either side, but it was so worth it. And they are honestly so nice, those guys. Like Victor is incredible. Jean-Lucas, a wonderful chap. There was another chap out there called Nils, who was Swedish. I chatted to him most of the first run. He was lovely. And of course, Ben. Everyone knows Ben. I've met Ben a fair few times now. Top guy. And just to spend time with them and be in their mindset and then be running with them and go, what's your heart rate? And they're like 120, 130, 130. And I'm like, 150, man, 150. What's going on? But it's good. It's good to run with faster people. It really brings your fitness on.
Yeah, strategic savagery. You got to pick those moments where maybe it's not the most responsible thing to do, but it can help push you.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting because the last guest we had on here, Floberg, he was saying as well, he's been training with faster guys, and it's helping push him and push his fitness. I think there is something to that, getting with the group and having people drag you along.
Yeah, I mean, I sat behind them for most of that tempo, and I felt it was okay. It was at the point where I felt really bad and wanted to take the lead and just kind of share a bit with them. And I'm like, I don't know why I did it, because for them it was a steady LT1 effort. I mean, genuinely, their heart rates did not go above 140 something. So why I felt the need to take the lead, I've got no idea. But when I did and then dropped back, that's when I was gassed. But it is, I have been lucky enough to train a few times with faster people, and it makes the world of difference. It really does.
Yeah, I also think faster, slower, whatever, for me, I've found being with the group, there's something about sharing the work. There's that common expression, running, sharing the work.
Yeah.
It's almost like it creates this supernatural force field effect where you get two people together. I compare it to kids, man. You probably know when your two kids get together, they start speaking their own language and spinning around and doing crazy stuff. It's like, I can't stop them. The train is gone. It's like this energy I think it's the same thing with running. When you get 2 or 3 people together, it's more powerful and you can hit those paces that you wouldn't be able to alone.
Exactly. It's great.
Yeah. So you got London coming up. Is this your first London? Have you done it before?
I've done it twice before. I've
Sick.
not had the best of races there. So I'd like to just go and run strong there. I'd like to run a PB. I'm going to run a PB. I'm in this Project 3 thing with Puma. So you've probably seen it because I think some Boston runners are doing it, and I think they do it for New York as well. So
yeah, congrats, man.
Thank you. I'm excited. It'll be good fun. But I'll give it a go. Otherwise, I will try, and I'm kind of a 1 marathon a year kind of guy now, to be honest. I just find like I'm going to be 39 this year, and as much as I love the training, I do find that, to be fair, this training block is the least fatigued I've ever felt. It's the best I've ever felt, but I still stand by the fact that I think a lot of people should try and work on their smaller races as well, and do a block dedicated to those before then. So I'll spend fall, autumn working on 5, 10 half marathons before then attacking another marathon in spring. But London, it's like the vibes in the city are incredible. The only problem I have with London is that when I did it in 2022, there was 41,000 runners. When I did it in 2024, there was 54,000 runners. And I feel like they're trying to compete with New York to be like the biggest, and the city does not have the infrastructure to handle it. Like my wife came to support me, and she couldn't even like we have 3 kids now, and my little one was in a pushchair at the time. She couldn't get around the city, and all the underground stations, a lot of them are shut, and it's a nightmare. So like this time I said to my wife, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to fly solo. I'm going to go down there. I'm just literally going to get there, run the race, and get home. I don't want anyone getting caught up in it. So like, if you don't get overwhelmed by crowds and stuff, it is probably one of the best experiences you'll ever have. Seeing all the landmarks, running over Tower Bridge, it's mind-blowing. But from a racing standpoint, I don't think it's the fastest course. It might look it from the elevation profile, but there's a lot of small little just ups and downs that take it out of you along the way. So if I don't get it this time, we'll be going for a half marathon PR in autumn for sure. Well, actually, on Sunday, I'm going for one on Sunday.
I love it. You're going to come in like a mileage mercenary. You said, sorry, honey, you can't roll with me. I'm just coming in to slaughter a PR. in the Demon Time Fast R3. Yeah. What colorway do you have?
They sent me the prototype, the original one. So I think they struggled to find my size because everyone else got the new colorways.
Yeah.
And mine were like a week late, and I was really panicking. And then I got a shipment notification from them, and they turned up, and they're the original colorway. So
the Miami Vice
white.
This one?
That's the one. Yeah. That's
sick.
the one.
Yeah, that's a great colorway.
It's amazing. But I've heard, and you might be able to confirm this, I've heard from newer people that have tried the new version that it's almost like the Fast R 3.5 because the upper's been refined and it's lost a lot more weight. So you know how light the Fast R is. Ooh. Well,
yeah.
My Tim Gross, who's also a YouTuber, he's in my UK size 13. He's got one, and he said it. In our size, they're 234 grams. His are 217, and apparently the upper is a little bit tighter, a little bit more tense, not quite as, which is absolutely fine. And I've had quite a few messages from people saying we've picked up the new one. It's about 20 grams lighter, so you're then competing with the Metaspeed Sky Tokyo sort of weight, which is incredible. So apparently they're sending another fresh pair for race day. So like if they send that colorway, I'll be over the moon.
This is breaking news.
Yeah,
you're breaking news on the Mileage Podcast. Fast R 3.5. I've never heard about this, so you've heard it here first. Andy Raynor is breaking. That's crazy. I'll have to weigh in my pairs, but I think all of them were the same because I had that colorway I just showed. I had the all orange one. Yeah, it was like pumpkin with the black, and then I had the Ikaden pack, the white with the. And they were all similar, but I just did get the unicorn vomit. Have you seen that one? It's the cotton candy with the pink and the blue explosion. It's crazy. Yeah. Is that the one that's supposed to be lighter?
Is that a 2026 release?
Yes. Yeah, that one. So Grant has the green upper with the yellow midsole. Okay, we'll have to bring that in after.
It should be. Apparently it's the 2026 releases. I've probably had about 10 messages on Instagram saying to me, make sure Puma sends you the new version because it's lighter. And everyone's kind of said it's like 3.5. It's not official, but it is a different, apparently the materials and stuff are different on the upper. I don't know how much you can notice it, but Tim
I'm trying to look.
Tim messaged
they did it
me
on
and said 20 grams.
Tim Gross. Wow. Breaking news, Tim Gross. That's crazy. But they did it on the Deviate 3, the Elite 3, because my first pair in the release colorway, orange, was about 217. And then I got a pair in all blue, this icy blue, and it was 200. So maybe that's the Puma thing. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. Maybe. Yeah. It's definitely worth wearing them to have a look. But yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah. So I'm hoping I'll get the new colorway for London.
So Project 3, that's the idea of it is to break your PR by 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, break your PR by 3 minutes. I think it's just this kind of initiative to treat sort of people that are, well, they call it sub-elite. I would probably say that's being very generous, but for a male sub-3 hour marathon, I can't remember what the time is for a female, but anyway, basically people that they're trying to support people that work hard, train hard, have decent times, and reward you, treat you like an elite. So we've had all of these webinars about fueling with elite athletes, all of this sort of stuff, and in amongst the shoes, the kit, the clothes, which is amazing, really. And our only obligation, they're like, you don't have to wear like our stuff all the time, just at London or at Boston, but get used to them in training. Hence why they're like, here's a training pair, here's a fresh race day pair. And I think that's the case for the Deviate 4s, the Deviate Nitro Elite 4s, and the Fast Stars. So I feel very lucky, to be honest. I really do.
Yeah. What a cool experience, man. That sounds like it's awesome. You did mention fueling, and this is something I wanted to talk about with you because I see you post your stuff on the gram, on Instagram. You always post on your story, hey, I got this gel. I think, was it today or yesterday you posted Nomeo that you ordered some? Yeah, I'm super curious about that one. We do have some samples coming in for the team, so we'll be able to see. For me personally, though, this is what I was thinking, like, with my morning runs, I will eat breakfast at something like 6:30, and then I don't go and run until 8:30 because I'm filming and everything. I'm like, dude, I'm just coming into this run under fueled. What is this broccoli juice gonna do if I can't even get the basics right? But yeah, I do want to ask you, what's your fueling strategy, both for training and then also when you're going into a race?
Similar to you, I will have breakfast around 6:30, 7 o'clock. But to be honest with you, I'm usually out the door by 8. And then I'm going to be honest, I've struggled with fueling over the years. It's been the reason why my marathon performances are terrible. I'm 6'6". I weighed 92 kilos. I'm losing weight.
200 pounds.
Yeah. So I'm losing weight throughout this block, which is, I know I need to, but I'm a big guy. So I burn fuel differently to other people. Everyone, I think that's a thing for everyone to understand. Everyone's different. But the 60 grams of carbs per hour rule for me is just absolutely pointless. It doesn't even touch the sides. So for me on a training day, I'll just bowl of porridge. Like if it's an easy run, I can go out without food. That's fine. But if it's a training day, bowl of porridge. I'll usually have a gel before I go out, Beta Fuel, SIS Beta Fuel, because they've got 40 grams of carbs in. And then, especially in marathon training, I will aim to get 80 to 90 grams of carbs per hour in the form of the gels. I'm trying more. I think I need more like 100, 110. I'm just trying to get the stomach used to it. And this is something I've really worked on the last 2 years or so. And that finally led to a decent time last year in the marathon. Whereas... And then when it comes to race day, so I've got a half marathon race on Sunday. And so what I'll do there is I'll have a big bowl of porridge, usually with maple syrup on the top. I'll have a drink mix, it's not Morton anymore. I usually use a brand called Sturka. That's a 90 grams of carbs. And then I'll have a Beta Fuel an hour and a half out as well. And then I actually use Precision hydration gels. They sit best with me in the stomach. So I'll have one 30 minutes before the race, caffeine one. I'll also have a caffeine gel at 5K, and I'll have a caffeine gel at 10K. And finally, like, I'm unlocking some decent performances because I'm actually putting in what my body needs. I don't think I need the race day ones. I do it for the caffeine more, but the morning load is really important for me. And now this Nomio, however you say it, that'll be going in on Sunday. So we'll see what that does.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see your thoughts on that one. So
it's fueling is so individual, but I think I spent so long of my life just like trying to compare myself to an average 5'6", 5'8", 5'9" runner, and I'm just not. And I'm a big guy, and I have weight to shift, which I am, but I'll never be a 60 grams of carbs per hour person. I've got to hammer the stomach. If I ever want a marathon performance that I can dream of having, I've got to fuel at least 100 grams of carbs per hour as a minimum.
Yeah, at least, man. They're saying now 100 grams is the recommendation, even for those short kings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you're like you, man, 6'6", 200 pounds, you might need 150. And there are some gels out there too. I just ordered some from a brand called Carbs Fuel because the Life and Stride guys were telling me about them that have 50 grams per serving. Now it is bigger, but yeah, that could unlock to make it easier to get it down, because the format is hard too. If you have to carry 12 gels with you out there on the course as a hobby jogger, you don't have the support, you don't have the bottles.
Yeah.
It could be harder too.
Precision has some pretty big gels, right? In terms of carbs.
They've got the 90 gram pouch, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Crazy.
I must admit, I tried that last training block on 3 different runs, and it just gave me a stomachache. And I don't know if it's because I was just chugging too much of it down in one go, but I was like, I've got to hammer the stomach and I've got to try. And on the 3rd run, I was just like, I can't do this. This hurts too much, and I'm going to run out of time. So then I just went back to trying to put extra 30 gram gels in there, and in the end I got up to, I had 7. I had the gel right before the start, and I got 7 in me out on the course. That's 30 grams each, so 210 grams overall, which is over double what I've previously got in. But still, you're looking, it was 239, so you're still looking at like 70 about 80 grams of carbs per hour, which is just not okay. It's not enough. And we see a lot of there. What was his name? He ran the New York Marathon last year. Ollie, I think he's on-sponsored. Ollie Hoare or Ollie someone, and he was aiming for. He ran 209, didn't he, or 210? And there was a big thing on social media that he made that he was saying, I'm going for 150 grams of carbs per hour.
Wow.
And he trained his gut all the way through the block, and he succeeded. And his first marathon was like a 209 or a 2. I probably got his name wrong. It was Ollie someone. He was an on athlete, same team as Yared Nuguse. And yeah, I was just like, that's where I need to be. Like, that's the type of level that I need. And fair play to him for getting his stomach used to 150 grams, because that is insane.
Yeah, that is insane.
I heard Molly Seidel talking about this because she made the switch from road races and marathons to trail. And with doing the ultras, the emphasis on fueling is even bigger. But she was saying she didn't realize what it meant when people say you have to train the gut. You literally have to train yourself to pound the calories and to put that volume in your stomach. And it's not going to be comfortable for everyone. And some people have different luck with it. For example, I don't really have the GI issues people describe. Have you ever had to have GI issues during a marathon?
Not during a marathon, but in training, yeah. I've lost plenty of pairs of underwear out there in the forest many times. Man. Certain types of gels do it to me. Interestingly, the SIS normal gels, not the Beta Fuel, but the normal ones, they are terrible. We've got a brand over here, I don't know if it's over with you, called High Five. They're terrible. If I feel like it's anything like really pure sugar that's super sweet. Interestingly, Sturka, who I use the drink mix of, their gels do it to me. But like Precision, they're the smoothest gels that I've ever tried. And Morton, I used Morton twice at London, and both times I threw up. I also used it in marathons in the middle. I could take on 3. The second I took on that 4th Morton gel, and I got to mile 22 of London, and like you're talking like 5 rows deep of people. And,
oh gosh!
And I just, in the middle of the road, just projectile vomited everywhere. It was the most embarrassing thing in the world. So at that point, crazy. I was like, "No more Morton. I can't do Morton."
Bro,
Precision have saved the day.
Morton to me, that's like water now, man. I think I had 10 of them for the Wilmington Marathon. I had the drink before.
Wow.
I had 2 or 3 before the race, and then I think I had 6 or 7 out there. I can just throw those things back. It's like no problem. I don't know if I'm just trained. Love it. It's like the taste of Morton. I'm ready to go, man. That's a PR right there.
That's amazing. I tried it. Like, I didn't give up after the first one. I've tried it on multiple marathons, but nothing changed. And I would hammer the stomach and nothing changed. So I was just like, I'm going to have to put them down. And yeah, to be fair, Precision, like, I wouldn't look anywhere else now for me. But I'd love to get used to their pouches.
Yeah, I got to check those out because I have the carbs fuel coming. I'll check the Precision as well. Okay, so you're racing London. You're going to PR in the Fast R3. I know you like the Fade Gen 6 Elite. You mentioned the Be My shoe for training. When you're going for everyday chill recovery, what are your top shoes right now? What are your Max Cushion Gang cruisers?
I'm enjoying the Mega Blast. That's a cool shoe. I'm going to sound like a bitter old man now. I don't like the price that shoes are going. Like I don't appreciate how, for us hobby joggers, the price of some of these shoes are ridiculous now. I did buy it on discount. I got 30% off, which was insane. And I feel like I got my money's worth, so I'm pleased with that. And yeah, I reach for that a lot. I use the Leaning Red Hare 9 Ultra. I love that shoe so much. And then other ones at the moment, I'm just testing the 361 Meraki 7, which is just a standard. It's not quite max cushion. I think it's like 38 in the heel, but I love it. It's so comfortable. And I am enjoying the Leaning Red Hare 9 Pro. The 8 Pro I've just retired. The 9 is good. Is there another one? As I said, the Azura. I'm staring at the Azura right now, giving it evils. I don't like it. I think they're my go-to ones at the moment.
Sweet. Mega Blast, Red Hare 9 Ultra. Those are, 2 of the best shoes out right now. I also tried the Azura. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I ran in it one time, and I have not run in it since. And it wasn't even horrible, but it was just, I went out for my morning run, 7:30 pace or whatever. I felt like I had to put a lot into the shoe to get it going. And then I also felt like it wanted me to run harder on my everyday relaxed run than I needed to. I couldn't get it going. And this is the thing about price, man. Yeah, it's 150 USD versus the Mega Blast is 225 USD. But when you have both of those sitting on your shelf, price doesn't matter. It's just which one are you going to pull for?
Yeah, and you pull for the Mega Blast every single time. Yeah. And the problem we have with the Red Hare 9 Ultra and the Mega Blast is that when you run in those two shoes and then you run in anything else, it feels like a downgrade. That's the problem. Yeah. So then you've got it's almost like trying to find the best of the rest. And I would class anything else as like normal shoes. Like I haven't tried the Super Blast. I'm sure that's just as cool, but anything else feels just like a normal shoe. and it's like, okay, which of the normal shoes do I really like? So yeah, I've got to be honest with you. Like those two are head and shoulders above anything else right now.
Have you tried the Nike trainers, the Vomero Plus or Vomero Premium?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't. How do I say this, man? I have been frustrated with how Nike have been over the last few years. I think they got complacent after the Vaporfly 1 and Vaporfly 2. Incredible shoes, in particular the Vaporfly 1, like not the 4%, the original Vapor. You know what I mean? I feel like when the 2 came out, the midsole was a bit more plasticky. It did take on a bit more weight, but it was still a good shoe, and I stocked up on that shoe. I had 5 pairs of it, but the 1 is still like one of the best ever. After that, I feel like they just got complacent and went, we've won. We've done it, lads.
Yeah.
You know, let's have a beer. And everything else after that has been terrible. I did a video on the Tempo Next Percent, which went at the time nearly 20,000 views. I just basically was swearing at the camera, telling everyone how rubbish it was. And to be fair, Tim Gross is quite a Nike fanboy, so he tests them all, and he messaged me, and it's like, man, this is like 400 grams in our size, and I'm like, cheers for testing it, mate. I'm not touching that with a barge pole.
Crazy.
So I'm like, when you've got the Leaning Red Hare 9 Ultra, which is 330 grams in my size, which is incredible for a shoe that big, and then you're talking about these Vomeros and stuff that are like 380, 390, 400, 410. I'm just not interested. So until they come out with something that makes me go, yeah, that sounds good. And to be fair, the Alpha Flies, I'm not a huge fan of those. The 1 was fantastic, the same as the version 1. I'll throw a conspiracy theory at you. My suspicion is that they realized just how good they made version 1 of the Alpha Fly and Vaporfly, that they've had to go, whoa, okay, let's re-release that in about 5 years, because I genuinely think that if they re-release the Vaporfly 1, everyone will be like, this is an amazing shoe. They've just nerfed everything since then. So yeah, I'm not really interested.
Yeah, Vaporfly 4 was not good. Alpha Fly is just disappointing that they haven't updated that. I think Mizuno has literally dropped 6 or 7 race shoes in the time since Nike has released the Alpha Fly 3, which is crazy. But to their defense, I will say, Vomero Plus, highly comfortable shoe. That's one of the team's favorites, and I think everyone who's tested it on our team has loved it. So you might want to give that one a shot, especially this is where it, for me, is if you want that more normal trainer feel that's not the super crazy Mega Blast or Leaning Red Hare 9 Ultra, but still has that little extra special thing. It's more pop than something like a Nimbus or a Glycerin. That's where the Vomero Plus comes in. The Premium, though, so I liked it. I tested another pair earlier this week, but it's just so heavy, man. Every time I run it, and it does the thing similar to the Azura where I have to put some more into it. So I'm like, dude, I'm running 7 flat miles in this shoe. That's just a massive behemoth, and I could get this in a Evo SL or a Leaning Red Hare 9 Ultra for 250 grams versus 350.
I think you'll probably, I don't know, you might or might not agree, but I think the Evo SL really kind of shook things up. I mean, yeah, what a great shoe that was. I love that shoe. The only problem I found with that shoe, I found that close to the 300 mile mark, my ankles just started rolling in a bit more. So I think some of their newer versions with updated uppers, the woven and so this like exoskeleton type one they're doing, that will probably offer better support. But overall, I mean, I think the market kind of went, oh boy, it felt a bit of a shift, like when the Vaporfly came out and everyone went, oh, that's the direction we should be going. Okay. And I think like Saucony's answer to it, the Azura, it's just been a flop. It's going to be so hard to compete with the Evo.
Man, and so Adidas just comes out with the Hyper Boost Edge, right? And I know now that it's able to buy for the public, I've seen it getting some mixed reviews. I think it's mostly bigger runners who are finding the foam too soft. I really liked it. I loved the PBA. It was super bouncy, soft. That to me feels like what the Power Run PB in the Azura should have been. And Saucony has just never been able to advance. That's similar to Nike, right? They come out with the Zoom X, 7 years ago? It hasn't changed at all in the past 7 years, and you have these other brands who are just rapidly moving. You have something like Dynafish coming out with the Xiaoyan 200 grams for a 45 millimeter stack shoe, or you have Asics who's coming out with 2 or 3 different foam compounds in the same time that these brands are just doing the same thing over and over.
I think Asics need a lot of credit, to be fair to them. I think there's a lot of shoes like the Nova Blast. So again, this is where the long-term reviews come in. Like I found, sadly, that went quite flat around 150 miles. I pushed it to 300. It turned into like running on a rubber ball. But for the first 150 miles, it felt like I was transported back in time to the original Nova Blast. And that is still to this day one of my favorite shoes. But everything else, like I tested the Nimbus 27. I got sent that shoe, weirdly. I don't get sent many, but I got sent that one. And I was like, oh, here we go. This is 360 grams. This is going to be like not the type of shoe that I like. I loved it. And I really enjoyed that one. And then with the Sky Tokyo, now the Mega Blast, I'm like, okay, so what they've done is I think they've taken the success of the Nova Blast, they've picked the good bits, spread it out into the Super Blast, the Mega Blast. I feel like the Nova Blast has been nerfed a bit. We've just got to roll with that. But they've got the Super Blast, the Mega Blast, clearly 2 great shoes. As I said, I owe the Sky Tokyo an apology. I think the foams in that shoe are really good. I think, especially more so now, testing the DV8 Nitro Elite 4. So I was a huge fan of the 3. And again, my old pair is just over there. Like PR'd in most events that I did in that shoe. I've got the 4. It's just not the same. The foam is just nowhere near as exciting. It's nowhere near as dense. It feels a lot lighter. And I find at marathon pace, it's very... I could take it or leave it. It's not really that exciting. It comes alive when you pick it up to like 5 and 10k pace. I just feel like Asics have got such a good all-round, and Puma as well, to be fair, all-round just great midsole game. And like you said, Nike have just slept on it. Saucony have slept on it. It feels like Boost all those years ago when Adidas were being screamed at to like update Boost. Come on, guys, you just put in Boost in every flipping shoe. Update it. And now they did, and obviously Adidas have really stepped up. I feel like Nike and Saucony need to do the same.
100%, man. So what are your top brands then right now? What are your top shoe brands 2026?
Puma for me at the moment. I am disappointed in the DV8 Nitro Elite 4, but it's still a good shoe. The 3 was incredible. The Fast R is still probably my go-to ratio out of everything. Incredible. I haven't tested the normal DV8 over there. I will soon. And I love the Velocity 4. That was a great shoe, a little bit narrow, but again, I feel like Puma have got the midsole compound from base level to elite level. Just they've nailed it across the board.
Dialed.
Yeah, really dialed. Asics, I feel the same now. I've got the Mega Blast, and now that I'm really starting to fall in love with the Sky Tokyo. I think they're doing really good. I'm loving Li Ning. I know it's new to me, but the Red Hair 9 Ultra is probably the one shoe I look at and it puts a smile on my face when just without even putting the shoe on. I could just love it. The Fadian 6 Elite is one of the best shoes. If I wasn't wearing the Puma for London, I'd be wearing that one. The Challenger 5 is by far one of the best. It's the Saucony Pro 3 before Saucony went downhill. It is the Pro 3 reincarnated, but better, lighter, snappier. Wow. I haven't tested the 6. That's on its way. So Li Ning, yeah, what a revolution to test their stuff. I'd say those are my top 3 at the moment for sure.
Wow, Li Ning, man. We were having this conversation a few weeks ago after I ran Wilmington in the FOD 6 Elite, and I was saying, is Li Ning a top 5 brand right now? And we agreed we can't do it until we test 3 shoes on the team, but you've tested 3 shoes from them, and you're saying they're a top 5 brand, so they might be coming on the power rankings then.
Easily. I've tested the Red Hair 8 Pro, the 9 Pro, both great daily trainers. They're like the old Speed 1 and 2. Such a good shoe, a little bit dialed down, but that type of geometry and fit, wonderful shoe. Challenger 5, blows my mind how good it is. I've nearly got 200 miles in that one. The FOD 6 Elite, as you know, you've run your marathon PR in it. Insane shoe. The Red Hair 9 Ultra, just they're doing what other brands need to be doing.
Unreal. Well, we're almost at time here. FOD Runner, absolute legend in the game. Grant, you want to close it out with one last question for Dirk here?
Let's do it. All right, so we have a lot of Chinese brand talk this pod. If you had to pick between a full rotation of Chinese shoes or a full rotation of Western shoes, which one are you picking?
Chinese.
Wow.
Gonna be honest, I
had a feeling.
Just because, as I said, my last video of my 14 most used shoes, I say to people all the time, hey, look, us reviewers, we can review as many shoes as we can. The proof is in the pudding. Go on to Strava, see what shoes we're actually using. My top, out of the 14, my top 6, as I said, I had 4 of them in there. I'm just gravitating towards them more. And yes, I still feel like Puma Farstar has the edge. But if you said to me for the rest of the year, you've got to race in the FOD Elite 6 or 6 Elite, I'd be like, absolutely fine. If I've got the Challenger for workouts, incredible. That'd be my shoe, incredible. And if I've got the Leaning Red Hair 9 Ultra and the 9 Pro for my daily runs, I'd be over the moon. Now, I can't test the Dynafish and stuff because it doesn't go up to my size. But again, I just hear such good things about it. So at the moment, I feel like China are advancing way quicker. Plus, they knock out multiple models of shoes a year, so their upgrades come quicker than us because we've got all that sort of like R&D, that PR stuff. They're trying to get you into ballots to try and get shoes. Oh, all that rubbish. It's just like China are just like, here's a shoe, use it. And I love it. So yeah, China, I think, no competition.
Awesome, man. I love it. We're big on the China shoes right now too. And it's not, the way I look at it too, is not, it's a trend of China. It's just, man, these are the brands putting out the best shoes. They have access to the best materials. They have access to the best engineers and people who've been making these shoes for years, and now these brands are ready to play.
I love it. They're so good. Yeah, so good.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on here, FOD Runner. We'll have to have you on again, dude. This was so much fun. I could chop it up all day with you talking about shoes and training. And I do want to give you your flowers here. It's so cool because you actually test these shoes. And I know I run a certain mileage level and people look at that and think that's cool, but you are putting significant mileage on each pair. You're not just trying to get views. You're not just trying to chase trends. You're training. You're dedicated to not just your running, but your craft, being the best hobby jogger reviewer out there. So it's so cool to have you come on here. And I know you're all about the people and giving value to the people. So it's been a pleasure, man.
I really appreciate that. Very kind. Likewise, I love your channel. I watch all of your stuff. I think you're doing great things, especially as far as I'm concerned. If we are giving back to a community that is ever growing, the sport is thriving at the moment, then it's a good thing. And to see the mileage you log, it blows my mind. So keep doing it.
All right. Awesome, man. Should we hit them with the blood, sweat, and
mileage?
Bang.
That took me a while.